everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and I just finished watching the first 3 episodes of the final season of The Bad Batch. Much anticipated, really exciting. And look, this is a show that, like, it's garnered its own section of the fandom. A lot of people are, like, Bad Batch fanatics, right? It's, yeah, I have to say The Bad Batch is a show that, for me, it's had its golden moments, you know, like these really special, awesome things that I love to rewatch on occasion, but it still has yet to reach like the heights of Rebels or Clone Wars for me. I'm still like waiting, and I will say we're off to a really promising start. So hopefully by the end of this, you know, last season, I'm gonna have like a complete picture here, and I'm gonna feel like, okay, this is actually, you know, equal to those other projects. But yeah, these first 3 episodes are pretty awesome, and we're already, you know, dropping into hints of the bigger picture and the overall plot of, like, you know, Palpatine clone stuff. And really that's what we've all been speculating since the show started. You know, we've all been like, okay, how is this going to tie into Rise of Skywalker and the clones? And, you know, we got our hint of Mount Tantus, and now we're like here, we're just spending time in Mount Tantus. And, you know, we all know that, like, this is going to involve Palpatine and the contingency plan, and somehow this is going to end up back on Exegol, and he's going to be like a weird little clone body in a giant, you know, armchair thing, you know? Like we all know that that's where this is heading. You know, and we're starting to get our little hints of it. You know, we see Nala Se is talking to Omega about how, like, oh, we're experimenting on trying to get acceptable matching M count things to, like, match with our hosts of the clone cells. You know, that they're testing all this clone blood to see if, like, any of the midichlorians can, like, you know, successfully integrate with that. They have vats of, we have to assume, Palpatine bodies. They don't show us. Palpatine shows up and he looks at these vats, and we don't actually get to see what's in the vats, but we have to assume it's really gross looking Palpatine clones just sitting there all naked floating in a jar. Or maybe it's Snoke's. Maybe that's gonna be the real. Maybe it's Snoke's and not Palpatine's. Who knows? That could be an answer too. Anyways, and yeah, basically the main thing here, aside from the fact that, you know, Omega and Crosshair have been captured on Mount Tantus, and they've been here for what, like a month already. Her hair's already growing out, you know, so they're showing you time is passing. She's been here for a minute. But yeah, the other thing is that, like, if her blood ever gets tested, it's gonna be revealed that it is successful, and so Nala Se is protecting her in that way, you know. And still, it's unclear if, you know, is Nala Se doing that because she genuinely cares about Omega? It's honestly, it's hard to get a read on these Kaminoans. What little of them are left, it's hard to, like emotional wise, it's like you're so, like, monotone and Kaminoan like that I can't tell, do you actually care about Omega, or are you just doing this because, you know, scientific reasons? She's like such a marvel that, like, you want to protect her or something. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But in any case, she's destroying her blood samples. She's not letting her get tested. She's trying to keep it hush hush. But of course, by episode 3, her blood sample has been taken, and it's been tested, and it's been confirmed that, like, okay, so that we have a successful M count integration. So Omega does not have, like, you know, force abilities necessarily. Like, that's not what they're saying. But what they are trying to say is that, like, basically, you could take force sensitive midichlorian blood and you could mix it in there, I guess, and basically her clone cells would accept it. Why is that the case? I don't know. Like, all we know about Omega really is that she's not, like, messed with at all as far as, like, aging and all that. But they said it was the same thing with Boba Fett, right? So, like, now you have to ask, like, does that mean Boba Fett could also be, like, shot up with some midichlorians, and there you go? Like, what does that mean? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm sure we will find out. But in any case, they want to keep Omega alive now, so they let her and Crosshair escape. Meanwhile, the Bad Batch crew is trying to find Mount Tantus, right? So they, you know, they went to this planet where a facility used to be, and it's all destroyed, and they have to escape with some other clones that were abandoned there. and you know, they find some information to figure out where Mount Tantus is. But of course, ironically enough, the very next episode, you know, Omega and Crosshair managed to escape. So now the question is the crew gonna head to Mount Tantus just to be captured because like no one's there to rescue, right? So very interested to see what's gonna happen now with the crew. It would be kind of like a sad irony if they cross paths entirely and they head to Mount Tantus while they're escaping Mount Tantus, you know. So who knows? But in any case, you know, Palpatine's like, you have the full resources to make this project successful, you know. So of course they're already dropping all those, you know, things. We're generally leaning in that direction of like, okay, yes, he was developing the clone body and the, you know, trying to get something with the midichlorian count. Now, because we know kind of where this is headed, we know that Rey's dad was an unsuccessful clone body, didn't have the midichlorian count, but, you know, of course he had Rey, you know, and she of course did have the midichlorians. So, you know, where this kind of goes, like where Omega kind of fits into all this is still a little unclear. I guess you could say that like they do manage to get some kind of sample, but also then you have to ask like, well, what about Grogu and all that stuff that was happening? Like they were still testing it way after this moment. So I don't know where this is going. I don't know how they're gonna like kind of fit all these puzzle pieces together, because that's kind of the thing, is that like Rise of Skywalker left us with so many little puzzle pieces that we're still like, Grogu, Omega, Moff Gideon was doing his own thing, and then Rey and Exegol, and there's like, you know, somehow they're gonna make this all fit together into a big piece, into a big picture here. But in any case, yeah, I was really happy with these 3 episodes. I think they did a really good job of like setting up the stakes, and you know, episode 4, I guess we got to see like, are they gonna manage to contact the crew and let them know like, hey, don't go to Mount Tantus, we escaped, we're fine. You know, leading up to this entire show, we've been told nothing about like, we've only been told like how sad it's gonna be and how we're gonna be like really, sorry, alarm went off, we're gonna be like really depressed about everything going on. So yeah, I guess we'll have to find out who's gonna die, because, you know, surely the entire Bad Batch is not making it out of this alive, right? Like some of our characters are not gonna they're not gonna make it. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about these 3 episodes, about all the Exegol and Palpatine connections and everything that's happening, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.